Good morning, guys. It's Chris from daxtrader.co.uk. It's Tuesday, the 19th of September 2017, and we're going to take a look at the Dax Technical Analysis. We've just completed a webinar, and we've got a couple of screenshots which posted into the community chat room as well. So we're going to go through and quickly summarize what it is that we just discussed. The normal trading disclaimer applies. Trading financial markets is risky. It involves the risk of losing our invested money. The webinars are provided for educational purposes only, and the videos as well. No investment advice is provided. So if you decide to enter a trade on the back of any of these webinars or videos, then please do so entirely at your own risk. Okay, if anybody's watching this, just remember that your cameras might be turned on as well. All right, so we started off with the TPO. And to quickly run through what we discussed, we've been in this consolidation range from Tuesday to Friday, which we attempted to break out of yesterday to the upside. Took out a previous point of control that was naked and just kind of pierced into this next value area, which was established back in mid-July, early mid-July. Seemed to have been rejected from that, and we're now trying to test the previous value area. So we discussed that often what you'll find with market cycles is that we'll go from value area, rotate from one value area to another, and we go into price discovery mode. And when we break out one value area, we'll often try and test the next one higher or lower, depending on which way we break, and establish ourselves there. If that fails, then it gives an opportunity to sell at value area highs and buy at the value area low, with an assumption that you're going to return back to value, which kind of seems to be the case at the moment. So we'll see how this continues to develop. Below, if we break to the downside, we've got that point of control back here, which I think was Monday last week, around about 440, which I was talking about last week as an interesting opportunity to buy. We just never got anywhere near it. And the opportunity kind of left. As far as the distribution goes, we've got a bit of a low volume node in the middle of that, so double distribution day, and the point of control was established in the lower half, and we have already tested that today as well. I think we were rejected from the test of the low volume node as well this morning. So the gap, if you like, the low volume node has not yet been filled. All right. So we're watching for a break of that value area. On the daily chart, we still have the fork that's been drawn in here, A, B, and C. We're still looking to target a test of that median line. If we fail to reach that median line, then it suggests weakness and we'll continue to perhaps break lower. So we'll see how that works out. We've got this blue line here that's been drawn, just an area that price is respected from both above and below in the past. So not unreasonable to expect a pullback to that kind of level for a reaction. And it would just be short of that gap that opened last Monday, I think. It was last Monday. All right. Let's take a look at another chart then. So the ones that I posted into the channel today, the first one was this one, which is a 5,000 tick chart, not time chart. But I've got a fork drawn in, which I think has been drawn before, but just at a different high. I think it was originally drawn somewhere up there. But since we broke to that new high yesterday, we can move the fork, the C point, to that. And it just seems to touch these points just a little bit better. So you could argue that that fork now is still valid. Bit of a switch back there. And if that is going to be the case, and you'd expect price to retrace to the median line, then that's a bit of a shock to bulls to expect that you can get down as low as sort of 12,200, 12,150. Lots of different horizontal levels to break. So, for example, we've got the 12,5 and the 12,480. Seems to be an interesting zone supporting price at the moment. And then, of course, you've got the Monday gap. Sorry, the Monday POC, point of control, 440, and then the Monday gap as other potential levels. So that's an area, an idea that I'm going to be watching for. I think a lot of bulls are certainly expecting this to just continue to break higher, and if that's the case, then so be it. But it was just a warning. Just be aware of that. All right, so that was the first one. The second one was, I think it was this one here, 250 tick chart. So it's still a bit busy from what we were working on yesterday. But we do have this kind of Davis level here, which may be interesting for a break. May want to widen that just a little bit, just to keep account of those swings. So a break one way or the other would be interesting. We had the idea of this setting up yesterday, which, because we were trading sideways, kind of got abandoned really. Could have reopened up this morning. But really, this was the idea that we were looking at. Just simply based on these two candles, this pair here, you could call those mirrors. That it's created this little pocket now where you would have think that sellers would have been jumping in on this late. It turned around and then they're trapped in that move. So as price starts to move away from that area, they'll be looking to get out of that position and dump there. So as price comes back to it, buyers are still interested in getting long. Sellers are dumping their position because they're happy to get out, break even, and therefore price starts to jump higher. So we'll see how that move plays out. But that was an idea that looks interesting to me. And looking at targeting, ideally, the top of this ACR line, this reaction line at the top. So that was an idea. This was the other one. And this is based on a 20-minute chart with a fork and an extension, or a slide in parallel. Got a couple of horizontal levels at previous swings. But really the main idea is this one. And I've taken an extension tool from the swing high, and I pull the 50% line through this doji on the 20-minute chart to provide us with an extension. And my thinking is, and it doesn't always work like this, but dojis can often be balance points. They can be halfway points on moves. So in this particular case, it would be a potential halfway point on a move down, which was interesting that we've created another one here, actually. So I'll keep an eye on that one. But I guess what you could do with that one there is do the same thing here from this swing high through that balance point, and it provides us with this area. So the way you can use these tools is it provides you with a target area. So at the moment, if I use this particular balance point or that particular balance point, it will give us an area somewhere in there, because the extension line for this first one is around about 478, 477. And the target for the second one is about 490 something, 492. So somewhere in that second box to the right. It's an interesting area to look at a long position if these hold. Okay. And also when we look left, that level there seems to call price as well. So that was a low. You could maybe even argue that there's a pocket there of trapped sellers. So again, it'd be another interesting spot for them to dump if price does manage to test that. So that was just an idea I was liking the sound of. As far as the entry would go, it's around about 477 with a stop underneath and the next swing lower, which is 436 or so, and targeting 12,600 and higher for at least 3-1 as a setup. Might be a bit rich for some. It's quite a big stop. Okay. On the 4-hour chart, really just be aware that, of course, we've had this huge spike. We're currently in this channel, so just watch for a channel break for potential further movement. If we break lower, could be traps. You just got to be careful not to sort of jump on a move for too long, get married to the idea. But you've got to think, where are buyers going to want to buy, really? Do they want to be buying up here? Probably not, ideally. Would you imagine that large money is going to be buying at this level? No, they'll probably be using this as liquidity to get out of their longs. But Yeah, they're probably more interested in buying at much lower levels. So keep an eye out. And as for the 100-tick chart, not really much to say other than we had a mini gap open this morning, which closed pretty quickly. We have then since been trading underneath VWAP all the way down. We've broken the deviation low a couple of times. That's an interesting little area there. Could have potentially scalped long from there. I probably would not have done that. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, I guess. But the IB, the initial balance, first hour was broken. We've almost doubled that and extended for the 2-hour initial balance. But that level looks interesting now, especially as we head towards 10 o'clock with the ZEV release a bit later. So keep an eye out on that. Forecast 86.8. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so that's kind of everything. So as a quick summary, 3 charts really that I was looking at. We've got a bearish fork potentially developing on the 5,000 tick. We've got a pocket and potential support to be held on the 250 tick. And then there's that balance point target, or actually 2 balance point targets on the 20-minute that's a bit of confluence with horizontal levels as well. So that's my thinking for today. Still have a bullish bias, which is kind of clear to see, really. Flat as a pancake yesterday for the second half of the session. Really boring. Not a lot happened. A couple of interesting spots that we got. But for today, just got to be a bit careful. And really, it's because of this bearish fork on the longer term play. So just being aware of it. Okay, on the cryptocurrency side of things, some interesting news come out from Switzerland, I think, today. Say they might be the next one to jump on bans. But I can't imagine that it's going to be this free forever. I'd imagine government's going to be jumping on all over this scene because they don't understand what's happening and what's really the carpet's been pulled out from underneath their feet. They don't like that. They want a piece of it. They've got to try and find some way of regulating it. I think it's only normal. Is that going to affect this hanging around forever? No, it's not going to go anywhere. It will be the start of a potential bull market, maybe. But as for the portfolio, 437 is where we're at. Kind of fluctuating between 400 and 500. Recovered the majority from last week, but pretty heavily green day yesterday, and today not really much is happening. So not a lot to report on there. So there you have it, guys. Have a good trading day for today. If you need to get hold of us here at Dax Trader, then you can send us a message. Just get onto the website, and there's a couple of ways you can contact us. You can use the chat facility, or you can go to info@daxtrader.co.uk. You can contact us on Facebook and Twitter as well. The Telegram details are in the bottom of the chat, the description for this video on YouTube. Come and register your account on Dax Trader for free to access the articles. And if you want to get involved in all the premium things, then just click on register and you can subscribe up there. All right, guys. We'll be back again tomorrow with a normal webinar. And it's possible on Thursday we'll have a guest webinar from John as well. So stick around for all of those and we'll catch up with you during the week. Take care.